Okay, I have to make something clear right now for those who are just joining me. So this morning, I came on the breakfast bite to share some nuggets, and it seems like I hope you could hear me. That's my whole thing. I hope you could hear me. It seems like you couldn't hear me at all. So now my goal is to make sure that you could hear me because I said I have some time now. I want to jump back on quickly and see if you could hear me, and let's talk about the deficit issue, the calorie deficit issue. Sound like some kind of, let's see here. Let me just see here. I'm going and put on the volume. Okay, so you could hear. I could hear because I just went on Facebook. I just went on to see if your guys could hear me live. So that's the cool thing. So let's dive into it. What if I tell you that you could lose weight using calorie deficit? Would you believe me? Well, this is what we'll be talking about and addressing today. For those who don't know me as yet, my name is Joel Levia, and I've been helping individuals just like yourself since 2001. Pretty long time. Helping you with the 6 pillars of wellness and helping individuals just like yourself achieve that specific goal. Not excluding movement and proper eating habits. Today, let's talk about it. Calorie deficits and the effects on our weight loss. We all want to lose weight. We all want to feel great. That's our ultimate goal, is looking even better, feeling even better, walking with that step, you know. That's our goal, right? We want to feel healthier, look healthier as well. But for some odd reason, it seems like some people see more results, or it works for a lot of people and it may not work for some people when it comes to calorie deficit. And I'm talking about the traditional way of, you may know, calorie deficit. So why is working for some and not working for others? That's a big question and something we should address. So hear me out. We are not all created the same in some ways. We are unique within ourselves. We all have different fingerprint, and the way we process food, stress, and everything else and in between is a little different from each other. Yes, we are the same. We're all human beings on the planet, yes. However, the way we process energy is different. And let me get down to the brass and knuckles before I get into that. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it now before I get too deep. Calories. So what the hell is calories deficit? Calorie deficit is just the definition of consuming less calories than your body need to survive per day. That's one of the approaches some people talk about. However, there's a next definition, which is consuming less calories than you burn per day. It's a little different, and I'll explain. So just being in a deficit, you could lose weight, and by theory and by the math will add up. Yes, it works. It definitely works. But why some people is not working for them is because of a component, which is knowing your resting metabolic rate. What does that really mean? How much calories your body burns at rest? That's what it is. Most people don't know it from a hole in the wall. So in return, Joe Blow might say, hey, you struggling? Try 800 calories per day. I'm doing it. I lose 25 pounds. Or somebody else said, no, try 1,500 calories. That worked for me. I lose 50 pounds. But they didn't consider your RMR, or your resting metabolic rate. How much calories your body burns. By you knowing that, there's wiggle room because getting an accurate reading of your resting metabolic rate is a kind of tricky thing. However, there is different equipments out there that could give you an average starting point to have you understanding where you might be, and there's a wiggle room of accuracy for you to get started on. So at least you have a awareness, this is where I may be. So when you're looking at your deficit now, you are on the right path. So you have an idea now that calorie deficit have a lot to do with that next pillar, which is your resting metabolic rate. Without it, you might be struggling to lose the weight. That's one way to look at it. But does calorie deficit work? Definitely. Let's look at a different thing here, why some people struggle with this calorie deficit, and then I'll get into some of what I really want to dive into today is the 3.5 different approaches you could actually use to actually lose weight using the calorie deficit strategy, which will be easy to follow, simple, no-brainer. The last two is a no-brainer for me. This is what I like. The others is a little different, and I'll explain as well. Calories. Calories is what our body needs every day to survive. Calories is just the measurement of energy. We consume energy through food, and in return, our body's able to stay alive. That's what it is, right? At the same time, we might want to lose some weight because we consume too much calories, more than our body. But there's many ways to get rid of that with many different type of deficit format. I'll share with you 4 types today. There's many to talk about, many. But I'll just talk about 4. 2 of them I really like, and 2 of them I don't really like, but it's very popular out there, and I'll talk about them. And because this topic is so rich and deep, this is just part 1 of this calorie deficit, and I will talk to you about it from different point of views and different angles within the days and weeks as it goes by. So many people struggle, but at the same time, many people lose weight. However, for those who are struggling and want to understand it, I want to dive into it even, here are 4 simple methods that you could use. And these methods, you could use 1, or you could try all 4 that you could use to help you lose weight when it comes to calorie deficit. So are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's look at the first one, right? The first one is a big famous one, which is counting calories. Counting calories have become a big thing, maybe going way back as 20 years ago. Yep. It became very popular, and it worked. It definitely worked. Where you will count the calories of everything. You look at every pack, every soda, everything you drink, eat, goes in your mouth, you count the calories. It became so popular that even McDonald's started to put the calories intake on each of the burgers and fries and everything. And even Starbucks and many other fast food chains started to follow suit because calorie counting had become a critical way of losing weight. Do it work? It definitely work. It by none, it works all the time. Not everybody are able to do the calorie counting thing and be able to stick with it for long term. They may be able to do it short term, but a few people are able to do this for years and years to come. And those type of people are more the analytical thinkers, mindset people who like the numbers, who get that thrill of number counting. That everyone are created that way. You might be a little different from that. Calorie counting might be extremely stressful to you. Maybe, right? So calorie counting is just one of those approaches when it comes to calorie deficit. So you count your calories and you might be aiming and shooting for X amount of calories per day. You don't want to go over that. That's one approach to actually use calorie deficit approach. The next one is a big famous one that's been hitting the airways now for approximately 6 years strong, and that is fasting or intermittent fasting. Everybody's now jumping on this fasting bandwagon. Everybody become yogis and gurus and all fasting like crazy. Fasting have a lot of benefits, health benefits, outside of just losing weight. It has been documented by science how it helped to get rid of different forms of cancers and diseases, and fasting by itself helps you lose weight and helps you get healthier too. This is crazy. It had been tracked as far back as almost 4,000 years how far fasting have go back, but it had a lot of religious connotations behind it and why they do it to achieve certain mental clarity and connections and stuff. But when it comes to weight loss, fasting is one of them. And I'll say this, before you even think about intermittent fasting, because there's different types or different approaches to intermittent fasting, consider talking to a specialist, a doctor. I'm talking about a doctor who specializes in this area, because not all MDs created equal. Most of them don't know nothing about it, and they'll just be giving you their opinion, which is a bag of garbage. So if you choose to, make sure you connect with a specialized doctor who understand it, who have been documenting clients and on it as well, so they can give you a good feedback, because the doctor know you, how your body working and different ailment you may be struggling with, so they'll be able to guide you in the right path. So that's that. So we have intermittent fasting, we have counting calories. What else we have? The third step, which I love a lot, which is portion control. Hear me out. Why I like portion control more than the first two, because I don't want to starve myself skinny. I want to enjoy what I like, and at the same time I want to lose weight. When did that point came where I should break up with food and have a bitter relationship? Food didn't really do me anything. Well, yes, maybe gain a little weight, but it's my abuse to food, or my approach to food, or my outlook on food, or the choices that I made. It wasn't the food. When you look at different cultures around the world, I look at how they enjoy food. You go to Spain or you go to Italy and they sit around a table and all the friends and family sit and eat and enjoy the food. They never worry about gaining the weight, and most of them are not obese or fat or extremely unhealthy. And I admire that a lot. You might be saying, but they don't have as you. Most of them do. But the relationship with food and the food choices is uniquely different. So let's start with that portion control. Why I like portion control is because this, simple. It's a very simple approach. I said, okay, I love pizzas. I enjoy pizza. However, I will just eat maybe half or 75% of the pie, but I wouldn't eat the whole pie. I'll eat until I'm like 80 to 85% full. Not 100%. I don't want to be stuffed and rolling. No. It feels good and I enjoy that. But now I'm being conscious about it. So I'm going 80 to 85% full. I'm okay with that. And that, by just looking at that approach, you're actually going in a calorie deficit. You're not consuming as much calories as before. Ice cream, oh, how I love ice cream. Coconut ice cream. The vegan coconut ice cream, that tastes good. There's a joint in Brooklyn I go to all the time. And instead of me eating the whole quart or pint, or I shouldn't say pint is little, a quart or so of ice cream, in one sitting, I'm like, you know what? I'll just eat 3 scoops today. Maybe. Right? So now, by me still going and indulging in something that I enjoy, that brings some form of pleasure to me while binging on a Netflix joint, I am actually reducing the amount of calories I'm consuming by portion control or portion sizing. I'm not starving myself. No. I'm enjoying food again. I'm falling in love with food again. That's what I'm doing. The last but not least approach, because there's a lot of approaches, but I wanted to talk to you about the 4 because I wanted to set a foundation today. So when we continue on this calorie deficit, we have something to as a reference point or a foundation. But there's many steps that I will continue sharing with you. These are some of mine that these are some that is popular, and then I share with you some that I like the most. The next one that you don't really hear people talk about much outside of portion control is substitution. Yeah. Substituting high calories for nutrition dense choices that tend to have less calories. Good one, right? Okay, hear me out. Look at example. Coca-Cola, let's say that might be 120 calories. I'm not talking the zero and stuff. There's nothing zero. Water is the only zero. So when they say zero, it's not really zero. No. I'm talking about a normal Coca-Cola, and that might have 120 calories or so, give or take. Or let's say some lemonade. Homemade lemonades, freshly squeezed, maybe with 1 spoon of agave to give it a little sweet taste because that's why you like the Coke in the first place. Or it might be some sparkly water with some lemon inside of it with a little, again, spoon of agave or honey or something to give it a little sweetness. And you're getting more nutrients in that because of the lemon, you're getting the vitamins, etc. Right? So you're getting more nutrients, less calories, it's still sweet and bubbly. So you're still kind of pleasing that appetite, that taste bud to some degree, and you're just substituting one for another. Less calories, more nutrition, still tastes good. Okay, you might say, Joel, that is too far-fetched. Give me a different example. Okay, what about nachos? A ton of calories and ingredients that you can't even pronounce versus some popcorn. Yeah. With a little sprinkle of, let's say, olive oil, salt and pepper, something like that to give it some flavor. And you'll be consuming less calories. Cool, right? That's the cool thing. It's really, really cool. I think you should consider that substitution approach. I think with all those 4, either be fasting or it'd be counting calories or portion control or substitution. They all works. Calorie deficit do work. It's just choosing which one that will work for you. We're all different, and just because it worked for somebody else, it don't really guarantee it will work for you. So choose which one and try it out. Let's just try it out. Let's just start slow. Let's try it out for 14 days. That's 2 weeks. Try it out for yourself and see how you feel. Document how you feel. Do you have more energy? Less brain fog? How do you feel? Write it down, make notes of it. Not always by the scale, but how do you feel? Right? You could also jump on the scale and measure that as well. You could also do measurement around the waist, the hips, the legs, the thighs, the arms to see if there's any changes there, because changes might be taking place. However, you might be looking at changes only in one area. So try to consider all these areas to kind of keep some form of measurement and progress within your weight loss journey when it comes to calorie deficit. So I want you to try that out. If you believe this information could help a friend, please share the link, share the love. I will appreciate it a lot. I could continue talking about this, and there's more to this that you should know. So I want you to stay tuned for the follow-ups episodes on calorie deficit. As always, I want you to stay fit, be healthy. Till next time.